Hi there, it's Sam from PootlesPapercraft. Thank you for joining me today. Today I have a box tutorial for you. I'm going to pop this one open so you can see how it opens and closes. It's a nice size box. It's in Imperial, it's 4 by 3 by 1.5 inches. In metric, that's how you open it. In metric it's slightly different by tiny bit, but the metric version measures 10 by 8 by 4 centimetres when it's completed. I'm going to show you how to make the metric version today. I'm going to move those out of the way because I'm going to use the Stampin trimmer rather than the scoring tool. I will give you all of the measurements and I will give you the link to this particular project over on my blog so you can see exactly how it's made, and all the dimensions will be there. But the cardstock measures 28 by 18 centimetres or 10.5 by 7 centimetres, inches, and with the long side at the top you score it at 4 centimetres, and this paler blade is the scoring one. 4 centimetres, 12 centimetres and 16 centimetres, which is right on this join here where the white meets the dark grey. That's exactly where your 16 centimetre mark is. And it's 24 centimetres. And in inches, you would score that at 1.5, 4.5, 6 and 9. And then turn it around and score it again at 4 centimetres. And this time at 14 centimetres. And again in Imperial you would score that at 1.5 and 5.5 inches. So I'll move that out of the way. I'm going to fold my score lines and burnish them because black cardstock is thick cardstock. This one over here is done with smoky slate, and that's also a thick cardstock as well. So you definitely want to burnish. If you've noticed, I've got a new bone folder. This is the Stampin' Up one. So I wrecked my other one when I re-inked a white ink pad. But actually, I much prefer this one. I didn't think there was much going on with bone folders, but it's much heavier. Right, you can see all these little sections here. We're going to trim up. I'm going to do it quickly for video purposes, but do take a bit more time than me. And then the same on the opposite side. And then we're going to glue all of these small little squares are going to glue up to the top and the bottom. So I've got my liquid glue, I'm going to get a new one. And if you start in the centre, oops, too much glue. And then fold it around and just make sure that it all lines up neatly. And just hold it for a few seconds, and then the same on the opposite side. Make sure that all lines up as well. And again, just hold for a few seconds. Sorry, there you go. Make sure it all lines up. And then this is now becoming our base. So these sections here, let me just tilt that so the light's catching. These ones will fold into here. And again, just hold those in place for a few seconds, just so that it's all neatly lined up. So that's the bottom of the box, and then the top, these sections here are going to fold and stick down to there. So again, more glue on those. Just stick it round and hold it in place. There we go, and then to make it easier to open so that you're not having to stick your fingernails underneath, I've cut this little hole here. I just use the artisan label punch for that one. I'm just going to use a circle punch because actually that's what I'm going to be using for the sentiment on the front. And if I pop that closed, I'm just going to put it off to one side for a minute just to finish drying while I do the stamping. And I've got my black Stays on ink. I've got the high from the Regarding Dahlias set, or Dahlias, depending on where you're from. So I've got this big high here, Get some Whisper White cardstock. Let's move that out of the way. And the black stays on. I use black stays on with Whisper White and Very Vanilla because it dries faster. One of those. And then I've got 2 punches. I've got the 1 1/4 and the 1 3/8. So I want the smaller one to cut the high out. And then the bigger one to go round it. This time I've got Bermuda Bay 1/8 of an inch taffeta ribbon. I'm just going to punch a hole in this one, which hasn't got anything on it, just towards the top, and that's because this has got such a shallow edge to it when you layer the 2 over, that I want to be able to hide that the ribbon join behind it. Otherwise it goes through both layers, it doesn't look pretty. So I feed that through to cut off a length for now, and then now I'm going to pop dimensional on the back of this one. And pop that over there so that the high is at the top, and you can see now that it's where the ribbon join is hiding behind it. It's just too shallow a gap otherwise. Then I've got a candy dot, also in Bermuda Bay, which is this one here. Pop it over the eye. And now I can put the designer series paper on the top, and all I've chosen is the basic black from the Neutrals paper stack. I've got the dots, I've had all the different patterns and designs going on over here. This measures, for the metric version, you need a piece that measures 9.5 by 7.5 centimetres, and for the imperial version you'd need 3 3/4 by 2 3/4 of an inch. Pop that over. I've got my basic black chevron ribbon, and I'm going to tie that round. Just tie it into a knot. Not the best knot in the world. In fact, quite frankly, a terrible knot, but it's okay. There we go, and then I'm going to tie this on . And just with a little, just to tie it round basically. Trim off the edges. And then I'm actually going to undo this knot, this chevron ribbon knot, because I want to hide the join of the ribbon that's just come undone. I wanted to hide it away. Let me try that again. Underneath here. Oh, it's not going to play. You can see the principle of what I've done over on this one here. It's hidden away. You tie the knot first and then you hide that underneath. But I'm not going to do it because this is the second time I've filmed this because I messed up on this one. But basically you tie your knot and you tie it on and then it tucks in there. But that's the box. I hope you like it. Please forgive me for not completing this, but I'm looking at the fact that we're at 9 minutes now. You don't want to watch for another couple of minutes just while I mess around with the knot. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you like it. These are all the metric version. This is the imperial version. There's very little difference. Easy enough to do, and all my details are on my blog. But thank you very much for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye.